What's up, game players? How are you guys doing? I'd like to welcome you guys to the Analog Circle Podcast, episode number 43. I'm your host, Keon Mitchell, and thank y'all, man. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Analog Circle Podcast. Now, if you want to check out some other previously recorded podcasts of the Analog Circle, you can go over to SoundCloud, Stitcher, Audio Mac, and iTunes. And if you want to voice your opinion on the show, feel free to call in at 443-261-4607. And if you want to email the show, feel free to email the show at the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com. Listen to this, brothers and sisters. Had a pretty good week, man. Starting out, I had just got home on Saturday morning, talking about 6, 7 o'clock, around that time, and it was brought to my attention by my friend that Mr. Ray Lewis of the Baltimore Ravens was going to be downtown talking to people and, greeting people at the Under Armour store in downtown Baltimore. So I said, hey, we got to go. We got to make it down there. We can actually meet Ray Lewis. So we got down there. The event didn't start until 11, but if you are like myself and you have ever stood outside for a console, brother or sister out there, you know that you got to get there hours before time. So we actually got there around, it had to be about 8 o'clock. Maybe it wasn't 9 because we were in line before 9. So we got there at 8 o'clock, maybe 8:30. And I thought the line was going to be around the building. But no, we were actually like maybe the 21st person in line. They were taking a total of 125 people that would be able to go in, meet and greet them, talk to them. So we were actually around, I would say if I had to put a number 25 or so in line, pretty close to the front. So we got in there, he's greeting everybody, taking pictures with people, talking to people, and I finally, it was my turn. I got up there, talked to him, got to shake Ray Lewis's hand, say a couple kind words to him, and, man, it was just a fun time. He said, you all right? I said, man, I'm all right, brother. How you doing? It was a fun time. He was a really, really cool guy. I didn't really get a chance to, talk to him, but, said a couple kind words to each other, and I went about my way, got a picture. I'll probably put it up in the man cave. I said, man, it was just a dope weekend, so finally got to meet him, a legend here in Baltimore. He's a, legend in the NFL, one of the best to ever do it. But outside of that cool moment, I had the game this week, brother. Oh yeah, I was on the sticks. I was about that game of life this week, brother. I was in the trenches. I was on Gears 4. Man, let me tell you something, man. God, dog, this game, Gears 4, brother. This game has been absolutely great from start to finish. The way that they actually incorporate some of the other characters, no spoilers, but it really wraps it up. It just, man, get it. If you are on the fence, Black Friday, maybe it's going to be on sale. We're going to get into some Black Friday stuff, but get it. But outside of Gears 4, I told you guys I was going to do it. I had to do it. It was a must to do it. I had to play Titanfall 2. I picked it up. I actually put a video up on YouTube if you guys want to check it out. Just go in, type in Analog Circle Podcast or whatever, or Keon Mitchell. It'll come up. Ain't a whole lot of subs over there. It's all good. But I just went on and put up some video footage of it. Man, that game, let me tell you something, brother, okay, or sister that's listening. That game is sharp. You hear me, brother? That game is pretty darn sharp, my friend. I was playing that game. Now, keep in mind, I'm about, I would say an hour, maybe an hour and a half. You know, so this is absolutely not even close to being a review. This is a preview. You know, I was playing, I think I'm a little more than an hour in. I got a little bit of time in that thing, but man, gameplay. Look, this is the first person shooter that I have played that has been so smooth with the parkour elements, running on the wall, double jumping, the shooting, the frame rate. This game as a first-person shooter checks off all of the boxes. So far, this game has been utter entertainment. So much entertainment. I have enjoyed myself. I got into the Titan. Oh, yes, I jumped up in, bravo. I got in the Titan and I started fighting, and man, the controls, even for the Titan, are very, very good. It's such a solid game. So much fun. Let me just, you know what? I'm throwing a whole lot out there at the moment. I'm throwing a lot out there. Let me just break it down a little bit. Let's just break it down to the essence. We got to start off with gameplay. Like I was already mentioning, the gameplay is so good. Oh my goodness. You actually running on the walls, jumping from wall to wall, double jumping. Controls are just darn near perfection. Just awesome. I just love the flow of this game. And the game, as far as the gameplay, it's one thing. And I actually mentioned this in the video on YouTube. It's one thing that I enjoy about this game is they have a holographic pilot that's right there when it comes to different jumps that you have to make to get over from one side to the other. In case you don't know how to do it, you hit the X button and it'll actually have the pilot actually do the maneuvers for you and gives you a path to follow, so you don't have to keep on guessing, well, do I jump on this wall? Do I double jump over here? What do I do? No, they make it very, very clear and crisp what it is you're supposed to do if you don't know. So gameplay is awesome. Love it. The way the guns feel, the way that you line them up in the sight, of the gun. It's doggone darn near perfection. Just a lot of fun. We can jump down from the gameplay to the graphics. Graphically, game looks really, really good, man. I'm talking solid on the graphics front. You will not be disappointed, brother. You will not look at this and frown your face up like Marmaduke the dog. You're not gonna do it. It is a great looking game. This game actually, not from a gameplay point of view at all, not from that standpoint, but just from some of the graphical layouts of the levels that I've played so far. It's actually reminded me of Crysis 3 a little bit in the graphics department. Much better looking, much more sharp. Absolutely. I mean, no doubt about it. But some of the jungle aspects of, the game, it kind of puts me in the mindset of Crysis 3. But graphically, oh my goodness, great game. Awesome. I'm not saying it's a 10 on the graphical front, but it is solid. Very nice looking game to play, because people, whether we want to believe it or not, people do look at how a game looks and kind of judges it to say, is that something I'm going to play? I don't know. It doesn't really look like my kind of game, so I don't think I'm going to do it. But it looks good. Well, that's my opinion. I could be wrong. You guys might feel differently. But outside of that, getting into the voice acting is cool. I mean, it's it's not bad. It's believable. It's okay so far, but I'm not so heavy into the game yet where it's been a whole lot of dialogue exchange. I will tell you this though. I will tell you that the Titan, I like his voice acting. It's cool. It's really cool. I've been enjoying, I haven't heard a lot of banter between them yet, but a couple of, different words or exchanges about love. I think he's in love, talking to the Titan, and he's like, I don't know, maybe I'm 50% in love. He's like mapping out numbers and whatnot. It's kind of funny, so I've definitely enjoyed that aspect of it, the voice acting. And I would have to say, man, I haven't gone online. You guys know I don't do multiplayer. It's just not, it's not my strong suit, brother. It's just not my thing. But if enough of you guys want to play online and you don't mind guiding me through the trenches, then hit me up, man. My name is Corked Emperor 33 on Xbox Live. So you guys hit me up. Let me know if you want to play or not. Shout out to Mastino and the other brothers out there that have been trying to play the games with me, Gears of War 4. But, thank you guys for the invites as well. But, definitely hit me up, man, and we'll see what happens. But Titanfall, great game, man. Great game to play. But outside of that, oh, brother, it is time to get into, man, what you guys come here for. And that is no doubt, the gaming news, brothers and sisters, that went down. We're going to start out with, some VR news, people. Now, if you are an early adopter of VR and haven't been playing many games with the device, but are looking for a reason to use it, well, listen, due to a contract with NextVR, the Game Awards, that's right, the Game Awards, will be broadcasting in VR on December 1st. So if you couldn't get tickets but wanted to be there, this is as close as you can get without physically being in the building. So this right here, man, this is where VR is probably going to pick up a lot of steam for people, for just regular consumers. Because you guys remember, a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago or so, I was telling you guys about the NBA actually having the VR compatibility, where you can look and see the halftime shows, see behind the scenes, see it on the court, different angles. It's the closest thing to being there. So this is a great way to have VR be used for regular, ordinary stuff, but making the ordinary stuff just that much more immersive. So if any of you guys out there have VR, December 1st, the Game Awards are going to be on. You'll be able to strap in. You'll be able to see these games like you are right there. This is going to be great. If any of you guys are planning on watching this in VR, let me know, because I want to know how good the experience of it will be. So we'll see how it goes, but we're gonna move on down the road. Now, in Nintendo news, y'all, Yves Guillemont, this guy's famous, Ubisoft CEO, he is, made a very interesting comment on a Facebook post by saying, and I'm quoting this, people, with the Switches, I'm going to try to get my accent on, with the Switch's unique capacities and designs, Nintendo could again redefine the way we play games. The Switch is accessible and its core and will give people the freedom and the pleasure. Man, I can't do it. I got to read it, man. And the pleasure to share more experiences and play anywhere at any time. The Ubisoft teams developing games for the Switch are inspired by these new possibilities, and I'm really happy that they were able to continue doing great things with Nintendo, that we're able to continue doing great things with Nintendo. In addition to Just Dance, now this is where it gets interesting. He says, in addition to Just Dance 2017, I think there's at least one game that will definitely surprise you. What? Yves Guillemont, are you serious, brother? So, what I'm thinking, is, could this be confirmation with absolutely no confirmation that, you guys know where I'm going with this, could Beyond Good and Evil 2 actually be arriving on the Nintendo Switch as an exclusive? Could it really be? Could it be? I don't know, but I think this really gives a little bit of cadence to some of the rumors that we've been getting, these rumors that we've been hearing about this game actually being exclusive to the platform. Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be some of the coolest stuff ever? To have Nintendo, of all people, Nintendo, get the sequel to Beyond Good and Evil 2. That would be something else. I guess time will tell. 2017 is coming up. I don't expect for this to be at the launch window, but I will expect to hear some kind of news about this in the near future. But we'll just have to stay tuned, because you remember Yves Guillemont, they put out Zombie U. I think that was Ubisoft. Was that Ubisoft, y'all? Was that them? Was that them? I think it was. I don't know. But they have given Nintendo a couple of games. I think they gave them Assassin's Creed as well. Black Flag, I think it was. And I don't know how well it performed, but they were giving them a handout. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what this game is. What could it be? It's a mystery. Moving on now, some more. Some more news was discussed concerning Project Scorpio. Oh, yes. Now, when asked by a fan via Twitter, will the Scorpio support backwards compatibility for the 360? Now, Mr. Mike Ybarra, who is the director of program management for Xbox, told fans that asked this question that the Scorpio will support the Xbox 360's backwards compatibility program. That is huge. And I know some of you guys are probably saying, what's so huge about that, Keys? I mean, I don't understand why you would say that. I think your fanboy colors are running right now. I think you dripped in it. No, man, not at all. Listen, this is the thing about it. This right here says to me, it might say something different to you guys, but it says to me that Phil Spencer, when he said generations without bounds or something like that, I might be getting this quote wrong, but basically he was saying that they wanted to merge all generations together, where you would never have to worry about not having the newest console be backwards compatible with the other games from the previous platform. Now we all know and understand that Microsoft has been saying since E3 that they're not leaving anybody behind, that there won't be any exclusive games, that any game that you can buy on the Scorpio, it will be available on the Xbox One as well. But the thing about this is that them actually bringing backwards compatibility to the Scorpio, which is a much more powerful machine than the Xbox One. That says to me that they're really trying to make good on the promise of having generations with no bounds, where none of your games will be left behind. You'll always be able to play your older games on your new machine. Now we also know that the Project Scorpio, it's not out yet. It's a whole nother year away because we're in November now. So they were saying next holiday season. I would consider this the holiday season. So we got another literal year to go before the Scorpio actually comes out. But, to really be able to judge whether or not they were able to do it or not. But as it stands right now, by Mr. Mike Ybarra's words, that they will be supporting backwards compatibility with the Xbox 360. So we'll see how it goes, man. I think it's very exciting news. I think it's great because you guys won't have to worry about actually worrying about leaving some of the 360 games that you might have bought on your Xbox One behind. They have over 200 games that are backwards compatible now on the Xbox One. So I think it's fantastic news that those games that you might have purchased this generation on your Xbox One will carry over. So good on you guys. But moving on. Now, a few more rumors have been circulating about the Nintendo Switch. Oh, yes. Yes, Nintendo. Some more news out of their camp. Now, this is according to, what's her name? Laura Kate Dale, who is a video game writer and is claiming to have inside sources at Nintendo. Now, she's saying she has some inside info. She has a mole inside of the Nintendo Corporation. So these are coming from her, these details. So listen to this. Now, she's saying that the rumored release date of the Nintendo Switch is going to be March 12th here in the States, and in Europe, New Zealand, and Australia. You guys will be getting it March 17th. Whew. That is something else. I will say, if this is true, because right now it's all speculation, nothing is in cement. She's saying that she has these sources and they're telling her this. So right now it's not official. But guys, that is cutting it very close in my opinion. I would have thought that Nintendo would have took as much time as possible. Maybe by the end of the month, they would go ahead and they would, put it up for sale, the 24th or the 27th, somewhere in the later part of March. But if this is true, they'll basically be launching it in the middle of March. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. But outside of that bit of news, she also said that the price point is going to be around, listen to this, God dog. She's saying the price point is going to be around $260 for a basic bundle. But for a bundle that comes with Super Mario, whatever it's going to be, it will cost $300. Now, I got to tell you, look, if Nintendo can bring this console / handheld out at $260, they will kill the game. They will sell just by default. at $260, people that aren't even huge Nintendo fans will say, God dog, for that much, shucks, I'll take a chance. Darn, I do like Mario. Link is cool. Maybe we'll get a Metroid. For $260, why not? But to me personally, man, I think they dream. That's a little bit of a dream. I think they gotta be dreaming a little bit. $260 for a basic bundle. I don't know. It would be a dream price. It would be a heck of a price to come in on. With your competition being where they're at, you're going to be literally $40 cheaper for your console. So if Nintendo can do that, that would be amazing. But $300, God, Doug, I don't know. $300 with Mario, maybe they can get away with it because Nintendo fans, the Nintendo loyalists, they're gonna pick up the console no matter what. They're gonna do it. Just like me with Sony and me with Xbox, with Microsoft. I'm gonna pick up the console. I'm gonna do it. It's just a matter of time. So they can get away with selling it for $300, bundling it in with a game, even if that means that they're going to be exactly at the same price point of their competition, which, quote unquote, is supposed to still be a little stronger, at least on the PlayStation 4 side. I don't know about the Xbox One too much, but for the PlayStation 4 side, it's still supposed to be a little more powerful. I don't know that 100%, but that's what some of the reports are saying. So we'll have to see how this turns out. But do you guys think that Nintendo could get away with selling this console for $300? Or do you think that 260 is a dream number and it just won't happen? I don't know. Let me know, brother. Email me, hit me up on a call, leave a voicemail, do something. But moving on into some Black Friday news. Oh man, we know that Black Friday, it's looming. It's right around the corner. And it's one of the biggest shopping days here in the States. Now, some early reports have come out about Sam's Club's Black Friday sales and what we can expect. So this is for any of you Sam Club members. I'm a Sam's Club member. It is a great store. I mean, if you need stuff in bulk and you're not trying to die or kill your wallet trying to get some stuff in bulk, it is a great place to go. So listen to this. This is the sale that they're having. Now, there are 2 gaming deals for Black Friday. Now, they were posted on BF Ads. Now, the first one is a PlayStation, this is good, is a PlayStation 4 Slim bundled with Uncharted 4. Guess how much this price is? Guess how much? You got 2 seconds. 1, 2. It is $250 for this bundle. You get a Slim PlayStation 4, not the older one, but the Slim model for $250 with Uncharted 4. That is an amazing value. $250. Any of you guys out there that have been looking to get a PlayStation 4, like your double Dutch jumping rope, and you just been waiting for the right time to hop in to start jumping, your time in the rope, your head's going up and down, just waiting like I'm gonna jump in. This is the time to jump. $250. This is a heck of a deal, man. Now, this is for Black Friday, but that is not the only bundle that they have. Notice I said they got 2. So of course you know what the other one is pertaining to. It is the Xbox One. Now, on the Xbox One side, you can get a Battlefield 1 and Minecraft bundle, which will of course come with the 500 gigabyte hard drive. Now this is the thing I want you guys to know. When I found this article, I did not see where it said it was a Xbox One S. That was not in the title. So as far as I know, this is the original black Xbox with the 500 gigabyte hard drive. But either way, they are selling this, where you can once again get Battlefield 1, and they also have a Minecraft bundle for $250 as well. But this is the kicker though. When you get the Xbox One, Sam's Club will also throw in an additional Xbox controller with the purchase. Now, the Xbox controller, they're saying it's going to be white. So maybe, I don't know. Once again, I want a preference. I did not see a S in there, but maybe them giving the white controller away could be a possible giveaway of them actually having this for the Xbox One S. So we'll have to see. But either way, if you guys are interested in this deal, the doors will be opening at Sam's Club at 7 a.m. And the deal will go until whenever they sell out. But also I wanted to point out too, Dell. Now, Dell is online as far as I know. I don't know any Dell stores here in Maryland, in Baltimore. But Dell will be having a deal where they'll be selling a 500 gigabyte Xbox with Battlefield 1, and you will get a free copy of Gears of War 4. God dog. Wow. So, I don't know. You got options, people. You got options out there. If you want Xbox, go for it. If you want PlayStation 4, go for it. Either way, both of these deals are great deals. Even Dell giving Battlefield 1 away with a free copy of Gears 4. That's pretty amazing, but I've talked too long about this. Black Friday's coming up. Happy birthday. Moving on. Now, during a Take-Two investors meeting on Wednesday, it was announced, oh, this is interesting. It was announced that GTA 5, yes, the game that will not die, GTA 5 has shipped. It has shipped more than 70 million copies. Oh my gosh. This game has shipped. Now, we understand shipped is different from actually being sold, but shipped 70 million copies. Oh my word. Oh my gosh. But outside of that, I gotta let that breathe. That is a lot of god doggone copies. That has to be a record. It has to be. I had to look it up one day. But outside of that, Take-Two CEO, his name is Strauss Zelnick, man, sounds French, had some interesting words on remastering old games. Now, when he was asked if they would launch any remasters after the BioShock collection, his answer was, and I quote, potentially yes. Anytime we have something that goes well or doesn't go well, it definitely informs our decision making. But we don't have anything specific to announce. He continues to say, the good news is we have a rich trove of intellectual properties, and there are definitely more things that will be brought to the market in the future. I'm going to repeat that. He said that there are definitely more things that will be brought to the market in the future, but nothing we would announce on today's call. So right there, you guys remember before Red Dead Redemption, the original Red Dead Redemption, the sequel to Red Dead Revolver, Red Dead Redemption, before it actually was officially announced that it was going to be Xbox One backwards compatible, it was rumors circulating around that they were going to do a remake of Red Dead Redemption. It was gonna be, up-resed, graphics were gonna get a heck of an overhaul, similar to how GTA 5 got the overhaul on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. But since then, no other news has really come out about it. It got announced that Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out, and nothing else has been made of it. But what if, now I'm not tripping on Red Dead Redemption too much being remade. It would be awesome if they do it, but I don't think they're going to do it because Red Dead Redemption 2 is in the works, and I don't know, maybe PC, maybe this might be your moment outside of the PlayStation network joint. Whatever that service is from PSN, I forgot, doggone it. But maybe they might be doing something on the PC side. Who knows? But either way, it is a possibility that Rockstar could be possibly making some remasters. I would love to see Bully get remastered. Now, Bully actually did kind of get a remaster. People probably don't remember, or they may. You guys probably do. But Bully actually got released on the Xbox 360 a couple of years after it had released on the PlayStation 2. And that game, man, where the heck is Bully? Where's Bully 2 at? I was really hoping that we would add a sequel by now, but maybe they'll remake Bully. I mean, they have Manhunt, they have Max Payne. Oh my gosh, Max Payne 3. I don't care what anybody says. I know it didn't do as well as some of Rockstar's other games. People were let down off of Max Payne 3, and I was like, why? Why would you be let down? Max Payne 3 had some of the greatest bullet time moments I had ever played. When you had the last guy in the room and you actually shot him and the bullet, it showed it from the bullet's angle, and you shot somebody wherever you shot him. It was just, it was so violent, but it was glorious cinematography. Oh man. I would buy another Max Payne 3. If they were to remaster it, I know I'm the problem. I know this. But if they were to make that again, I would definitely pick it up just to show support. That game had so many twists and turns, and the story went in ways that I did not expect for it to. So if they want to do that, or they want to do Manhunt, or they want to do Red Dead Redemption, or they want to bring another GTA back, maybe GTA 3, I don't know, San Andreas, whatever. They have a ton of stuff to choose from. So maybe, just maybe in the future, Rockstar will do a remake of some or one of these intellectual properties, but only time will tell. Moving on to one of the most anticipated games that I'm looking forward to this year. Yes, it's Final Fantasy 15. We got some more news about this, people. This is the month. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Final Fantasy is coming out this month. Final Fantasy 15. But listen to the news. Now, this news actually comes from Kotaku, who has confirmed that Final Fantasy 15 load time, Final Fantasy 15 loads its entire world up front So you're not going to run into any loading screens when you're out exploring the world. Now, once again, the game is out November 29th. This game, I think I talked about this last week, so I could be doing a repeat. But this game has been getting great praise so far. The previews have been very, very positive. 15 hours. And they were like, man, it's a great game. So this, like I said before, the thing about Final Fantasy 15, oh my goodness, is the fact that it looks so good. Oh yes, I am a graphics WH, and we don't have to go any further than that, people. But I just saw this game is beautiful. I played the Disgaea demo. I'm pumped up about this. And the thing that I'm so excited about and happy to hear about this is, you guys ever play a RPG and then it loads when you gotta do something? It's like the load screen comes up and it takes you out of the experience. It really detaches you a little bit from what's going on the screen. So the fact that they're gonna just load the entire world up front, oh, it's gonna be seamless. Oh my goodness. I know some of you guys are probably saying, Keon, what the heck? This is not real news. To me, brother, it's news because it's great. The game is going to just have you running around and exploring the whole world with no load times. If it's anything like the demo was, whenever I got into a fight, it was just bam. It was time to go. It was no, let me get myself together. Let me get ready. Oh no, they just hurl you right into the fire. You guys remember some of the Final Fantasies back in the day? It would have that moment where it would have to load and it go, and the music starts up and then you jump into the battle. Oh no, brother. Oh no. Those days are gone. That's in the wind. This time, you are just going to get hurled right into it. Just be ready. Be on your guard, man. So remember, Final Fantasy 15, November 29th. I will definitely be getting this on the PS4, by the way. I told you guys that. Gotta pay homage to that console, to that system for changing me. Because I'm going to tell you something, man. This is the thing. This is the thing about Final Fantasy 15. Just, this could be a doggone renaissance. This could be a comeback for Final Fantasy, because just like 7 brung in a lot of players that were not really necessarily checking for Final Fantasy. I was not a Final Fantasy fan on the Nintendo. I wasn't a Final Fantasy fan on the Super Nintendo. It wasn't my deal. I wasn't in the Phantasy Stars. I wasn't in the Shining Force. That wasn't my MO. I said, man, I don't check for these games. I didn't play Chrono Trigger. Oh, here comes the judgment. I know. No, I didn't play Chrono Trigger. I know that's a gaming sin. I know. Well, please forgive me. But it just was not my kind of game. But this Final Fantasy 15, it could bring in a whole slew of new players that are not into RPGs because they don't like the dog-on turn-based combat system. I never was a fan of the turn-based combat system. I wasn't. But Final Fantasy VII was so dope. I mean, it looked so great that it brought me in. It was one of the first games I had ever seen who had cinematics like that, on that caliber, on that level. So for me, I said, man, this is it. I got to get in there. I got to try this out. And the game was so good that I just got used to that system. But I think that where Final Fantasy 15 is going to go further, like I just said, and bringing more people in, is that is no longer a thing in the game. That turn-based is gone. So that brings in a lot more people that want to check it out, see what Final Fantasy is doing over there. So this could definitely be one of the highest selling Final Fantasy games, not in history, but in a long time. This could definitely top the charts as number 1. I'm not going to say November. You know what? If this game can come in at number 1 on the charts in November, at the 29th mark, that means this game is just freaking nuts. It's selling ridiculous. So even if it makes the top 10, that is a great sign for the MPDs that this game is on its way to doing great things. But man, I'm so pumped up about this. Moving on though, god darn, I did waste a little too much time on that. My apologies, y'all. But oh, shucks. Hey, side note to you listeners out there, to you guys, thank y'all for putting up with me. I appreciate it. I really do. But don't forget though, today, man, because I'm recording this so late. Oh man, it is N7 Day. Because it is November 7th, I want to say happy N7 Day to all my fellow gamers out there. God dog, you guys, I meant to tell you. If you don't know, I'm sure you're gonna know before this post, but if you don't know, it's a new trailer up of doggone Mass Effect Andromeda. Oh, buddy, just go check it out. I actually posted it in the Facebook group, the Analog Circle. Check it out there, or go to YouTube and check it out, because it's the same video that I put in the group. You can go to YouTube, check it out as well. But man, hopefully we get some news. Do you guys think we're gonna get some news today about doggone Mass Effect? Is it gonna happen? Will we get an official release date? I'm hoping something big happens, man, but we'll see, and I'll let you guys know about it. But moving on now, getting back to Chrono Trigger. Oh my gosh, speaking of Chrono, the legendary director of Chrono Trigger, Mr. Takashi Tokita, has a new game coming out on mobile devices entitled Final Fantasy Legends 2. Now, Takashi said this on the website, and I quote, "Final Fantasy is about characters with anger and sadness and dramatic battles full of humanity. And more than anything else, we should not forget the fantasy." So we will see how this turns out. I'm pretty pumped up about this. I think it's going to be cool. Am I going to play it? No, I'm not going to play it. I'm going to be honest with y'all. No, I'm not going to do it. But I'm interested because it is the director of Chrono Trigger. And everybody, my nephew, Darian, he swears by this game. He says it is the most amazing RPG ever made. This, that, and the third. And I don't disagree, because so many people saying the same thing can't be entirely wrong, but it's just not my deal. But if any of you guys out there were fans of Chrono Trigger, then Mr. Tokita has this game coming out, Final Fantasy II Legends, on mobile. You may want to just keep your ear to the streets a little bit to see when this game will be released. But moving on, there is a 10-year, that's right, this is about Gears, by the way, Gears 4. There is a 10-year anniversary update for Gears 4 today. God darn, wait a minute. Gears is 10 years old this month. On the 7th, Gears of War 4 is 10 years old. Happy god doggone birthday, y'all. Gears, happy birthday, man. Shoot. Now, let me get back to this story. God darn it. It's going to be an update for Gears 4 today that will include a gear pack that will go for 200 credits. Now, in the gear pack, it's going to include, it is Gary Carmine, the new Anthony Carmine, Longshot, Benjamin Carmine, Nasher, and Clayton Carmine. It's going to have, Lancer skins as well. Now, Carmine, I've played all of the Gears, but wasn't Carmine the guy with the blue mask? And all of them, I think, did Carmine die, man? Did Carmine die a lot in the Gears? I'm thinking he did, but, hey man, hey. I guess we'll see though. I'm rambling now, but let me finish up. Now, new weapons include a Gears Lancer, an Enforcer, a Marza MK1, a Hammer Burst, and Retro Lancer. Now, it has also been stated on Gears' official website that the special update comes with 2 emblems, the Gary Carmine emblem and the 10 Years of Gears emblem. On top of that, it will come with 5 bounties that are each themed to a specific Gears of War game. Now, there will also be new playable characters, skins, and items. Now, there will also be in-game events, community events, and competition. So you guys that are on Gears 4, like myself, definitely, if you have 200 credits to spend and you don't mind, definitely go over there, check this out, and let me know what you think about it. I probably won't get it. I'm not gonna lie to you folks, because I'm just playing different stuff. But Gears 4, god dog, I mean, what a monster of a game. Pick it up, please. If you see that thing on sale on Black Friday for $40, I don't know, Best Buy might even have it for $35, because last year they had The Witcher 3 for $35, man. We know how huge and how great that game was. They had Phantom Pain for $30. And that was well, I don't know. I didn't play it yet. It's still in the wrapper. But we'll see. If you can get it for $35 or $40, it is well worth the money. I was happy with spending the $50 on it from the Best Buy Unlock joint, and I enjoyed it. It was worth that $50. I have loved it since I've been playing it. Not a dull moment. But moving on. Now, it looks like a leak came out earlier, last week actually, concerning Tomb Raider. Now, I'm kind of late on this story, but I'm going to tell you guys about it anyway, because some of you might have missed it. I'm sure most of you got it though. But it looks like the name of the next Tomb Raider game is going to be entitled Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Now, this was spotted on a Montreal subway when a person snapshot a picture of the title from a laptop screen in the upper right hand corner. Man, oh man. You know, I thought, now look, I've never had secret documents. I've never had any sensitive information in my possession ever, but isn't it some kind of screen protector or something you can put on the laptop that makes it so no one can get in your field of vision of the actual screen, but use some kind of black screen where you can't catch it on angles to see what's going on? Man, this brother didn't have that. He did not have that screen, obviously, because when I saw the picture itself, it said it bright as day. Shadow of the Tomb Raider. It was right there, right hand corner, top side. Hey, hopefully this gentleman, hopefully his face, or nobody else snapshotted his face, with the laptop open, because I would hate for this guy to lose his job over something so small. But outside of that, the next one, it's at least for now entitled Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So that's good. That's great news. That means we're actually, I don't know if it's going to be a sequel to the actual, maybe, I'm saying this, I don't know if it's going to be, but the possible trilogy of Tomb Raider, because the first and the second one, the reboot and the second one, were excellent. I loved the second one. It was a fantastic. It was just a remarkable game. So hopefully the Tomb Raiders, you know, they've sold well enough where, hey, maybe we'll get a third one. Maybe this will be a trilogy. And the title, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, to me, that seems like it's something that's secret. Maybe like a underground society. I don't know. One of those groups that, you know, you gotta know someone to get involved in. I don't know. Maybe it's something like that. But we'll see what happens, and we'll see. I'm sure maybe at E3. Yeah, I would say at E3, because that would literally be 2 years ago that the game was released, the second one, Rise of the Tomb Raider. So maybe something will be shown at E3 2017. We'll just have to wait and see. But either way, I'm glad to see that, at least for now, it's a sequel. I don't know if they're going to make it a spinoff like they did with the isometric view Tomb Raiders that were actually good too. They were a lot of fun as well. The ones you could buy on the Xbox Arcade, those were really cool. I actually had the first one, and it was actually a lot of fun. I'm saying actually a lot here. But with that, I'm going to move on. God dog. But moving on to the last story, and to me, the best story of the daggone week. This one gets a gold doggone star. Now, if you may have forgotten, now this is just a friendly reminder, brother. If you may have forgotten, the Nintendo Classic comes out this Friday, which is November 11th. Now, if that's not enough gaming nostalgia for you, then listen to this. Now, from November 11th to the 13th, Nintendo is bringing back their Power line for a weekend. Yes, it is the Power line for the weekend. Now, the lines will be open from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, this will be a fully automated version of it, but you will be able to get tips for several games, plus behind the scenes stories from original Nintendo gameplay counselors. You never know what you may learn. Now, the Power line number is 425-885-7529. Remember, don't call that number just yet. Just wait a minute. Just remember that Friday, November 11th to the 13th, the whole weekend, they're bringing back the hotline. How crazy and cool is that? Man, you guys, any of you guys ever call that hotline to try to get tips? My parents wouldn't let me do it. They tell me, Keon, you better stay away from that phone. You ain't gonna run up my bill with these 1-800 numbers. You better figure it out. Figure it out. Don't even reach. That's what they would tell me. But man, some of my friends, they would call up and they'd be like, man, they helped me out. They got me through. Have any of you listeners out there ever called the Nintendo hotline? You know what? I'm a doggone adult. I'm a grown man. All of a sudden now, I'm a grown man. I'm gonna call this doggone number just to fulfill some of my childhood dreams. I am gonna call, man. This is so darn awesome. I can't believe it. I said, all of a sudden right now I'm a grown man. God darn. Don't pay that no mind. But, this is so cool. The best story this week, nostalgia sells, and Nintendo, man, daggone it. I'm picking this up. I gotta have it. It's something I might buy it for myself just for a gift. For Christmas. I don't know, man. But I have to have this. Any of you guys picking up this daggone Nintendo, the original, cause this is nostalgia in a box waiting to happen. And just the fact that they're gonna have the Nintendo Power line back up for a weekend. Oh man, that is just the ultimate, man. You know what, man, that is it. That is the gaming news, God dog it. For this week, but man, I can't wait. Oh, that just got my gourd. Oh, I'm so pumped up. But guys, hey, listen, man, if you guys are still with me, I hope you are. This is gonna be a bit of a longer episode because for the first time, man, I got an interview for you guys. Yes, Your boy has been working. I've been out here, man. I've been trying. I know you guys get tired of just hearing me, but I got someone very special this week. And we're going to jump right into that interview right after this. Stay tuned, guys. And welcome back, guys. Now, this is the part where we finally got an interview. Analog Circle, we made it, man. We got one. We finally got one. So I want to definitely just jump right into it. But I do want to let you guys know that it was just a little coarse language during the interview. Nothing malicious or anything like that, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. So here we go. I would like to welcome you guys to the Analog Circle podcast, and this week, for the very first time on the podcast, we actually have a special guest here. Guys, I would like to introduce you to a person that I met at Artscape, who's a very good guy, and he has a very great movement going on. I would like to welcome Mr. Nicholas to the show. How are you feeling this evening, sir?
Oh, big round of applause for the guest. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So I guess, you know what, Nick, I would like to ask you this. Now, your event, well, we'll definitely get into your event, but your event has to do with gaming. And gaming is something I'm very, very, very passionate about. So I want to ask you, Nick, when did you know you actually had a passion for this thing that we all love called gaming? Was there ever a time or a moment in your life when you said, you know what, I like this, I want to see what I can do with this to go a little further?
Oh, God, yeah, I'm probably too young to remember. My cousin or my brother had a NES, and I wasn't good enough to play it, so I would just watch them play, and I would freak out and get upset whenever they would die. As if I was playing it myself. At least that's how my family tells me it happened. But no, yeah, I was a little shit when I was a kid, because I would just get buddy with whoever had a video game, and then see if I could go over to their house, because all playing the same gun. But no, yeah, I've been playing stuff for, ever since I was old enough to walk. I remember I'd been a fan of video game music ever since I was a little itty kid. I would fall asleep with headphones plugged into the headphone port of my Genesis, just listening to stuff. And so when I found out about MagFest back in 2002, 2003, I was just that was a big moment for me to know that such a thing existed, that an event that was all about video games and game music. I was really excited for that.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, you know what, Nick? I would like to ask you about MagFest, because I'm not very up on exactly what the event is. I do know that you guys, just like you said, you actually integrate music and video games. Is there, a backstory that you may know about how MagFest got started and what actually made the two actually merge together? Because that's very interesting to me, a very interesting concept.
It's two kind of intertwined topics. MagFest was growing up alongside the video game music remixing community that was starting to come up. People like OC Remix, VG Mix, the Mini Bosses, the Neskimos, the Advantage, all people started making covers of classic video game songs. And as that community was growing, this guy, Joe Yemen, he's the original creator of MagFest. And, as anime conventions were also starting to pick up, I think Joe saw like an anime convention, was like, oh, I could probably do that. And they put something together and it went okay. But ultimately he said, I'd prefer to do something that was more focused on gaming. And so MagFest 1, the Mid-Atlantic Gaming Festival, was born, in Roanoke, Virginia I think it was 2002, I want to say. Maybe 2003. And so that event was, basically, an anime convention except with games. You had your video room, you had your game room, and to mix in the growing video game music community, they invited the one-ups, and the mini bosses and this other band called Everyone. I never actually heard them. I heard that, right. But yeah, that was the first MagFest. It was, according to Wikipedia, it was 250 people, but according to witnesses, it was far less than that.
Wow.
Just in a Roanoke, I want to say a Holiday Inn for a weekend, just playing games and listening to video game covers.
Man, that is really awesome. Actually, I don't live too far from Roanoke, Virginia. I live in Maryland. So, does the event still take place in Roanoke, or do you guys actually travel to different states as it is right now?
Oh, it was in Roanoke for a year, and then for about the first 6 years, it kept basically changing hotels because no hotel was willing to book the event again because the crowd was so rowdy.
Wow.
So it was in Roanoke for 1 year, and then after the first year, Joe decided, that was enough for him. So he passed it on to Brendan Becker. And then Brendan and some friends, they moved to Williamsburg, and it was there for 2 years. Then it moved to Charlottesville, Virginia, out near UVA. Mm-hmm. And then after they got kicked out of Williamsburg and got kicked out of Charlottesville, they went up to Vienna, Virginia, at the Sheraton Premier, and then they got kicked out of there.
It's a lot of kicking out.
And then they landed on the Hilton Mark Center in Alexandria, where we were able to spend 4 years there until we sold out that venue. And we're now at the Gaylord National Hotel and Convention Center in National Harbor, Maryland. And so this will be our 15th year. And we have, we're capping attendance at just about 20,000 people this year.
Wow. That is amazing growth. Oh my goodness. That is huge. At some point we became popular. I don't know how or why, but it must be a great event. I mean, so now that we're actually talking about MagFest, exactly for people that don't know, like myself, what can a person expect to get once they get to MagFest? What are some of the things that you guys have set up for the guests that arrive at the event?
Well, but my 5-second elevator pitch is that MagFest is a 4-day-long video game party dedicated to video game music and gaming of all types. So when you go to MagFest, you'll see we got a free play arcade with 200 and 250 arcade machines, stuff ranging the past 40 years of gaming, everything from Pong up to whatever the latest Dance Dance Revolution bullshit is coming out of Japan. We got just as many consoles, with a similar range, stuff from the Magnavox Odyssey all the way up to PlayStation 4. Got a ton of tabletop games, and the range of that is Candyland to Dungeons and Dragons. It's whatever you want to play, both electronic and non-electronic. And then, we have a bunch of panels from the community and from industry guests. A lot of voice actors, a lot of game music composers, animators, YouTube personalities, and then our main musical stage, hosts, about 4 dozen live acts every year that are a variety of video game music cover bands, nerdcore hip hop artists and chiptunes. And that's the main features, but there's a whole slew of other stuff going along with that.
That sounds like enough right there. So wait a minute, Nick. Let me just back up just for a minute if we can. You said you guys actually have how many different arcade machines there again, sir?
It's somewhere around 250. We have a big network of, like, we don't actually own the vast majority of these machines. There's just a very big network of people who want to show off and share their games with other people. So we pay for a truck rental, we pay for a hotel room and feed their crew, and they just bring whatever they have to MagFest and let everyone share in that. We're a very community focused event. Like if you came into the event and you tried to compare us to something like let's say PAX or E3, we'd look really shitty and dirt poor because we don't sell advertisement. We don't sell sponsorship packages. We are in a 501c3 nonprofit. We are completely funded by ticket sales from the attendees. One of the core tenets of MagFest is that we're about the community and the people. We're not about the industry. So everything you see at MagFest there's nothing that's bought by a company. Everything you see is community collaborations and contributions. We've amassed a gaming collection over many years, but a large chunk of it is all donated or brought by people that just want to share what they have with the rest of the attendees at MagFest. And, all of our panels are basically all submitted from the community. If you have an idea to do something at MagFest, let us know and we'll see if we can find a space for it.
I think that is an excellent model, because a lot of the times when you do get a lot of commercialized events going on, it seems like the passion actually gets taken out of it and it becomes kind of robotic. It seems like it's all about the sponsors, it's all about the money, and it can kind of cloud exactly what an event is about. So I truly respect the fact that you guys do this out of a passion, and the people that actually donate these machines to you guys for the week, for other people to play on them, to experience them, that right there is genuine. And I truly respect that as, a person who's a big fan of gaming. I think that is incredible. And actually, so basically these different arcade machines as well as consoles, when people show up to play these, they can actually, in a sense, take a trip, down memory lane somewhere back to the 80s or the 70s when arcades were out, like you said, non-electrical to electrical. So even younger gamers, I guess, growing up that haven't been exposed to, the arcade scene since it, died out in the mid to late 90s, could actually get a chance to come here and actually see and get that sense of what the arcade scene was like many years ago.
It's super heartwarming you see a mother will bring her daughter into the game room and she'll point at the Nintendo and she'll be like, you see that? I used to play that when I was little.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So it's a very, very heartwarming bonding experience to see this torch passed to the new generation and the growing appreciation of roots, so to speak, knowing where we'll say the art form came from.
Absolutely. I think it's one of those things as time goes on, it starts to become lost because a lot of and I hate to sound like an old man, but, a lot of the younger gamers that are coming into, the gaming community, they really basically only know about Xbox Live or, PlayStation Network to actually play each other online and never get that chance or have gotten the chance to actually play side by side with someone on an arcade cabinet. It's one of those things that are definitely being lost in the shuffle of technology and consoles becoming the number one place, of course, to game on, at least here in the States. So it's just great to see that you guys are actually, having a platform where these older machines can actually get a chance to shine and have the younger generation of gamers be able to come in and experience them as well as the console side. Now, I have to ask you this, Nick. Now, did I hear you say that you guys have a Magnavox Odyssey at the event at MagFest? Did you say that, sir?
It's in the collection somewhere. I forget if I've seen it specifically. I know we've got a whole a museum of classic consoles and computers, stuff from the 60s and 70s.
Oh my gosh, that is mind blowing. I have actually been looking for a Magnavox Odyssey. To my knowledge, I've never played one. Haven't been able to find one that I could at least afford at the moment. But from what I remember, I think it was actually something like a film that you would actually put on a TV, and it was like a kind of like a Pong kind of thing going on. I can't even 100% remember, but
it didn't have the processing power to actually draw any of the backgrounds or anything like that. It could only draw like very simple stuff, basically like where your character was. So what you would do is they would have overlays, like overhead transparencies that you would just tape to your TV to be the graphics.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, that right there is an amazing find to have someone actually have donated that, or you guys actually got it. That is very, very rare, because that console was out actually before the Atari 2600. It's like the grandfather of consoles. That is amazing.
Yeah, it's through and through. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that came out pre-2600, because 2600 was, I want to say like 82, 81, maybe.
I would say around 81, 82. Absolutely.
And there's, let's see, maybe like 15, 20 years of stuff before that. And as one of MagFest missions as a 501c3 is the preservation, appreciation, and promotion of the art and music and culture of gaming. So it's on us to make sure that there's an environment that people can come and see and play this stuff as it was originally meant to be played.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that was it.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to say I think this is very, very amazing. I think this is excellent work that you guys are doing. And you know what? Before I ask you the next question, I have to just backtrack a little bit more, Nick. When I had first saw you guys downtown at Artscape, and you guys had Mega Man. This was the most amazing thing I had ever seen. I'm serious. You guys had Mega Man from the Nintendo era on a huge Jumbotron in downtown Baltimore. How in the world did you guys how were you guys able to pull that off? It was the most amazing thing I had ever seen, man. It was unbelievable. Because as I was walking by, I was with my friend, and I looked up and I'm like, wait a minute, is that Mega Man on the big, huge Jumbotron? And I looked over at you guys and I said, oh my goodness, it's coming from over here. So I just have to ask, how did you guys actually get that to become a reality, to get Mega Man? One of the hardest games on the Nintendo I had ever played. I still have not beat Mega Man, by the way. But how did you guys actually get that to come to fruition? And I'm just curious.
I mean, the short answer is that we're a bunch of crazy assholes that are able to con our way up the corporate ladder to figure out who to talk to. The honest to God truth of that is the guy who owned that billboard, that video billboard, that Jumbotron, during this arts festival in Baltimore, Artscape, he saw our executive director, Dom, walking around, and like, I forget, I don't know if he was just completely unsolicited or what, but he went up to him and said, "Hey, you look like a guy that plays video games. Like, you got any idea how I can put a video game up here?" And sort of like, wow. Today is your lucky day. And then what proceeded then was a year of research on exactly how that 50-foot tall billboard worked. And what you saw was actually the second year we did that. The first year we did that, we actually there's this band called Bit Brigade, and their shtick is that, one of the band members is a guy who speedruns video games. The band plays the soundtrack to the game as the guy is speedrunning through the entire game. And so what we had Bit Brigade down on the street playing, and we had a three camera setup, and then streaming the cameras and the game up to split screen up on the top of the billboard.
Oh my goodness!
Where you're able to see them playing their instruments and him playing the game at the same time. But
wow, that is amazing.
It's great that we've been able to kind of to work our way into sneak our way into places we simply don't belong. Because Artscape is this free arts festival that's going on in Baltimore for years, and it's only just recently that they started hosting like an indie video game section of Artscape. Which we knew a guy who knew a guy who knew a guy, and we were able to get in there and start helping provide additional classic gaming content and help plan out this indie game showcase. And so because of that, just MagFest becoming more and more in the public consciousness, we're able to wiggle our way into stuff like, playing Mega Man 2 on a 50-foot billboard.
Just amazing. I mean, absolutely incredible, Nick. It just seems like to me, I have a much, much better understanding of MagFest, but it really seems like that if you're a person that's passionate about gaming and you just love the culture of this thing, then MagFest is where you need to be. Just amazing. Is there any, I don't want to ask too much, Nick. I know you have to leave something to the imagination, but when actually is MagFest happening? What's the next date that's coming up for MagFest?
The next MagFest is coming up January 5th through 8th at National Harbor. It starts Thursday the 5th at noon-ish, and then it runs 24 hours a day the entire time until Sunday evening.
Wow. Okay. Wait a minute, Nick. Wait a second. Did you say 24 hours a day?
Yeah. We never close the entire time. The arcade, the console room, the tabletop area, hell, even some panels, the marketplace, the vendor area is open 24 hours a day during the entire event. So you can go down the expo hall at 3 a.m. and there'll be people there playing the X-Men 6-player game for you to jump on and help out.
That is mind blowing. So basically it is, golly, I can't remember the event that, Woodstock. It's basically Woodstock for gaming pretty much.
No, that would be Magstock, which is a different event we have in,
really?
July.
Oh, wow.
We go to a campground in Central Virginia, and for 3 days there, we have video game bands and chiptunes playing music out in the woods, while people hook up video games to projectors and portable generators. They're just playing games and and drinking and barbecuing and listening to music at a campground for 3 days.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
That's Mag Stock. That's a much more smaller, intimate event. That's about 500 people. And that's in Louisa, Virginia every June or July around that time frame.
Oh my goodness. So you guys have a winter event and a summer event. If one person may miss one, they can always go to the other.
Well, and then we have our other summer event, BitGen Gamer Fest, which is that was a sister event that grew up alongside MagFest. That's basically if you crammed MagFest into one day and one nightclub, that would be BitGen, and that's in Baltimore, late in the summer. And then, what else we got? We have MagFest Laboratories, which is our, experimental event where that's a smaller one, about like 2,000 people, 1,000 or 2,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Where if there's anything crazy or unusual that you'd want to try to do at MagFest, but like the main event's a little bit too risky to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Mag Labs is the place to try that out. So we try to really hammer on the community involvement as much as possible for that one. And then we have our Game Over touring concert series, which is basically, if someone anywhere in the world, wants to do a video game cover band concert, and it's a little bit hard for them to organize on their own, we can help, throw a little, brain power and funds their way to help them pull together a VGM community event. And next summer, you can look forward to, in the San Francisco Bay Area, Mag West.
Wow. Now what is Mag West? Please tell us and me and the listeners, what is Mag West?
No, that is one thing I cannot tell you, but.
Okay.
I mean, it's put simply, it's MagFest's, inevitable, march towards bringing, the community we have to the West Coast.
Wow. This is an amazing movement that you guys have going on. My hat completely goes off to you guys. I wish I could make it to MagFest, actually. Matter of fact, speaking of that, are tickets still available for the one in January? Are there tickets still available for any of the listeners out there who may want to come out and support?
Tickets are available right now. They will likely sell out at the event, almost certainly. They are currently $75 for the entire weekend, for everything, all the concerts, all the bands, all the guests, all the games, everything you want to do for $75. That price will go up to $80 as we get closer to the event, and that'll be $85 for a weekend ticket at the door.
That is an incredible value. I mean, that really is. And I'm not just saying that because you're a guest on the show, but that is an excellent value. So as long as they pay that price, that means that they can go to the different panels and actually meet some of the voice actors that may be present. I mean, everything is included in that price.
All inclusive. Like all the games are free play. We do not let our guests charge for autographs. The tournaments are all free to enter. So you can do as much as you want, and you compare that to how much some of the other similarly sized events, around this area cost, and it's a hell of a deal.
Oh, it definitely sounds like it. Absolutely. Well, I it's one more thing that I want to ask you, Nick. I don't want to hold you up too long. I know you're just getting in. But and I appreciate your time. So I guess I'll end it by asking you one final question. Now, in your opinion, what is the future of gaming?
Oh my God. That's a loaded question. Man.
It's just your opinion.
No, I'm trying to think about that, because because I'm never much of a visionary. Like anyone can say, VR is the future. It's certainly the next step. But,
Absolutely.
I think, the one of the future of possible futures of gaming is it, being more and more treated and recognized, as an art form and maturing to it's kind of, already there, but maturing to the point where it can tell very, very deep and complex stories and not just tell stories, but get points and ideas across that you couldn't really get away with, given the technology or even the audience, 20 years ago. There's a lot of, what do you call it? Like social awareness games, social movement. These things that, there's clearly a gameplay aspect to them, but there's a strong message underneath that they're trying to put out. And I think just like how, films aren't just now, they're no longer just putting, Cary Grant and, Audrey Hepburn into whatever because they're the big star at the time. They have a true purpose and a goal they're trying to achieve. And I think with games being much more, it used to be the only people that made games were Nintendo and Sega. And like that was it.
Absolutely.
Now, anybody can make a video game. Anybody at all. So if somebody has something to say and they choose a game as the channel by which to say that, they now have that opportunity, and that's a fantastic thing.
There you have it, folks. Wow, Nick, this has been an absolute pleasure. I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. I would love to keep you a little longer, but I want to be respectful of your time. So
I'm an old man. I got to get to bed here.
I know, but thank you, Nick, so very much for being on the show. And once again, why don't you tell the listeners out there where they can find MagFest and keep up with you guys, all of your links and all. So please tell the listeners where they can find you guys.
We are MagFest, the music and gaming festival. You can check us out at magfest.org and also on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram as MagFest.
There you have it, folks. Nick, once again, thank you so much, brother, for being on the podcast. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, sir.
All right. And we're back, guys. We are back. I have to truly, thank Mr. Nicholas Marinelli for being on the podcast. It was an absolute pleasure talking to this gentleman. He was such a down-to-earth guy. Like I had mentioned in the interview, I had actually met him at Artscape, and it was just, it was, you ever have certain people that you can look at and can tell that, man, that's an approachable person. They don't seem like they're on their high horse. They seem very down to earth. I actually got that vibe from him immediately. So once again, Mr. Nicholas, thank you so much for being on the podcast, sir. But with that, hopefully I'll be able to get some more people. I've been putting out some more feelers to several different people. So hopefully someone else will get back to me and, I'll have someone else on the show because it's very, very heartwarming that you guys come to the podcast and listen to me ramble and go off subject and topic every week, but like I said before, I understand that listening to one person all the time, it gets very tiresome. You want to hear other people's opinions. You want to hear about other people's experiences. So I'm definitely working on that, guys. Just bear with me. That interview, I haven't even listened to the full interview. I just edited what I needed to edit, and that was it. I'm too nervous to even listen to it because I think I did. In my mind, I think I could have done better, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And like I said, it will not be the last interview because I'll keep on working and try to get some more people on here. Not try, but I will get more people on the show. But with that being said, we have to, and this is a lengthy show, I know, but I truly appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. And you guys know that the what's on your mind section, it was the feedback section, but I want to know what's on your mind. So I have to cover this because if anybody writes in, you don't have to write in. You're doing this on your free time, and I want to honor that. And I appreciate any of you listeners out there ever taking the time out to do this. So, of course, the man, the myth, who has been holding this section down since day zero. I say day one, Mr. Cody Clark. He has written, that might be bad, poor language. He has wrote in, I don't know. He wrote in, okay? I think that's the best way to say it. Mr. Cody Clark, he has wrote in again. For some reason, I just don't sound right, but I'm a rock with it. He says, by the way, the name of his email this week is Don't Franchise Me, Bro. Oh man, here we go. He says, if by responsible for what we get, you mean, do we buy X and then vent and not buy Y when it comes out? Well, as a matter of basics and basic economics, yes. By the way, before I continue, I was asking you guys, are we, the gamers, the game players, are we the reason why developers don't take more chances on new IPs and games? So let's get into Mr. Cody Clark's email. He says, but there are also all kinds of crazy focus groups in the back end, especially of AAA developers, to even get a game started. They are pitched games internally and externally all the time. The amount of work to get your game fit into a proper format to show off to company A, B, C is a pain in itself. Heck, EA, when it came to pitching an idea, even if they say no, you couldn't take that idea elsewhere if you were an employee. Darn. Anything you did at EA belonged to EA. I had a wing commander pitch that I submit. You gotta be kidding me. What? Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. Sorry about that. That'll be the last outburst, I promise. Let me continue. I had a wing commander pitch that I submitted because EA owns it. I can't shop that idea anywhere else. I had a friend who did the same with a group of engineers that wanted to do a new version of Magic Carpet. They said no. Executives at companies get pitches all the time. They play a game of risk versus reward. And even though they know how hard it is to get something from idea to polished gem, they will always look at the best risk to reward ratio. The company, Broadsword Online Entertainment in Northern Virginia, was started by a former exec at Mythic. He knew that EA was sort of tired of dealing with Ultima Online and Dark Age of Camelot. Each game pulling in approximately $1 million a year each. Give or take was chump change to them. Wow! EA was in the process of shutting down Mythic after the very bad experience of Ultima Forever and converting Dungeon Keeper Mobile from the original Chinese developer to the U.S. market. It took all of his skill and business tactics to convince the higher ups at EA that they could just continue to get checks written for these games and to just leave them alone. We, as normal people, look at a thing that works and we're like, yep, makes sense. But people who gobble up stocks and who run billion-dollar companies see something that only makes them $1 million a year and are like, we could channel this to make $1 billion in the current hotness. Why don't we do that? At the end of its life, Mythic had to live by the mantra, there are 3 type games: Call of Duty, Clash of Clans, and Candy Crush. From my friends in other parts of EA and Blizzard, it's the same thing there too. All the metrics said people wanted to play and waited to pay for, not your RPGs or whatever. Unless a game like FIFA/Madden had an established market, the big kids didn't want to take the risk because the market has spoken. In a way, it's good. It lets smaller teams make Invisible Undertale or some other indie darling. 10 years ago, it was all about MMOs. Then it was all about first-person shooters. Then play for free. Now it's all about mobile games with heinous costs built in. Heinous costs built in. Jim Sterling points, excuse me about that. Jim Sterling points out, we keep the same formula. Somebody figures out one strange trick. It works. They make huge bank. Then everybody adopts it and nobody complains. Then we move on. Cody. Wow. First off, man, as I say every week to you, brother, thank you for writing in. This is like inside of baseball. I mean, you wrote a lot. It's a lot to digest here. But Cody, who the world, first off, I just want to say that is unbelievable, first and foremost, that you actually pitched a Wing Commander idea. Wing Command, man, brother, let me tell you something real quick. And I know the show is running very, very, very long this week, and I apologize. But Wing Commander was Wing Commander and King's Quest. I don't know if it was 1 or 3 with King's Quest, but those 2 games single-handedly made me want to get a PC. I went to my mother and father and I asked them that same night when I went over a friend of mine's house named Jonathan. He had a PC and he had those games on there along with Wolfenstein. And when I heard them talking, real dialogue, mind blown. I mean, completely blown to bits. And it was that point I had asked for a PC. So Wing Commander, I have a special a soft place in my heart for Wing Commander because it single-handedly, along with King's Quest, of course, took me over to the PC side and to actually be reading your email from a person who actually was in that kind of position to even pitch an idea for a new Wing Commander. That is a mind blow. I mean, I'm completely blown away by that. And I'm honored that you would write in and put that in your email for me to share with the other listeners. On top of that being such a high in your email, the low point is, wow, so EA makes it so you can't even take an idea that you pitched to them, which is your original thought, your idea. You can't shop that around to anybody else as long as you're at EA. That's just crazy. The only other company I've ever heard of doing that is Nintendo with Miyamoto. I think they have him locked in some kind of contract where he can't say anything about anything at Nintendo to anybody else. I mean, it's in his contract. Whether or not that's still the case now, I don't know. But just the pure fact that you had also shared another part of information that this thing was making Ultima $1 million, $1 million. And they were like, it's chump change. It means nothing. We're moving on to the next thing. That million, that may as well be $20. Let's go ahead and take that and let's try to capitalize and make $1 billion off of it. It was making $1 million a year. Now this is residual income. This is like clockwork, listeners. They were making this and EA just thought, that's just not, it's not then. Let's just go ahead and do something else. So, man, maybe we are just not to blame. I guess, I mean, hey, these companies, like Mr. Cody Clark said, they find a formula, they find this strange trick that works, and they make it huge bank. I mean, case in point, Rockstar with Grand Theft Auto. All of a sudden, they got the formula down. Everybody wants open world, and I really wish people would streamline that stuff. I get tired. Now, don't get me wrong. It's great to have the choice. It gives the game added value, but that was one thing I loved about Gears 4 was it was very linear. And I was not upset. It felt good to play a game where you just had to stay on a path. And it was just story focused. That was it. No side missions. None of that stuff. Let's just keep it where it's at. I wish more games would go back to that. God, dog. But Cody, look, man, it's a long show, brother. I don't want to hold you guys up any longer. Cody, that was a powerful email, brother. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for that from the bottom of my heart, man. I'm serious, from my heart bone, brother. I want to thank you for that email. But, God, dog, that was serious. But that is about it. We're in the last section now of the podcast, of course. Now, the question I gotta ask you guys, since we had our guest on, Mr. Nicholas, about MagFest, I gotta ask you guys, what is your favorite video game soundtrack? I would love to hear these answers. Mine, without a doubt. I was thinking about this. It's a whole lot of soundtracks that have been awesome throughout my gaming years, man. One of my most early soundtracks that I fell in love with was Shadow Dancer on the Sega Genesis, which was the Shinobi spinoff. Shadow Dancer had some of the dopest music. When you would be playing and you would be on the level where you were going up the Statue of Liberty and the music be playing. It was just amazing. Shadow Dancer is in there, and just by default, because it's just so many different genres. You can throw any GTA game in there from 3 on up. I mean, GTA Vice City had the dope 80s joints in there. It had Michael Jackson on there. GTA 3 was doing their thing. GTA 4 had it was just a great soundtrack. And 5 was awesome. So just any GTA game out there, but I want to hear from you guys. Man, oh man, just call into the show, 443-261-4607, or email your answer to the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com. Woo! This was a long one. But brother, sister, don't worry, because we're gonna do it again. So until next week, when we definitely will do it again, thank you guys for tuning in and listening. And you guys take care. Be safe out there. Bye-bye.